Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Dieta79, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test number 31. So compare and contrast two musicians who influenced you. Give examples during your comparison, and believe it or not, this question appeared on the TOEFL exam. Wow, what a tough question. Okay, here we go.
The two musicians that I would like to compare and contrast are Amal Maher and Kulthum. First of all, both of them are very good singers. They have a lot of popular classic songs that help me to relax. For example, I used to listen to Amal Maher when I was in high school because her songs helped me to release my stress, relax, whenever I felt angry because of my studies. And
whenever I think, what? I got to listen to this one more time. You don't want me to have to go back.
Her songs helped me to release my stress, relax, whenever I felt angry because of my studies. And
I couldn't get exactly what you were saying at about 22 to 24 seconds.
Also listen to Kulthum before going to bed because her songs help me to have a very good night's sleep. Now I would like to speak about the major differences.
Very good organization, by the way. Very good structure.
Amal Maher is a young singer. She is 35 years old and she is still alive. However, Kulthum died 35 years ago. And that's how I compared and contrasted those two musicians.
I think the structure organization is pretty good. You had good control of your language use, including vocabulary and grammar. Delivery wasn't perfect. I had some problems understanding you. So I think they're noticeable and require effort. So I'm going to put you at 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 because of some minor issues with intelligibility. Hi there, these comments are for Heartpreet17, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. So you submitted your daily IBT speaking practice test number 55, and you've been working very, very hard. And let's see what it says here. So, is it more difficult for you to improve your speaking or your writing proficiency in academic English? Give reasons to support your choice.
I had difficulties in speaking proficiency in academic English because I'm not...
Say the word academic. So put stress on the third syllable. Make it clearer, louder, longer, and also higher pitched.
A native speaker. I'm an exotic person. First of all, I'm an exotic person and not in... I had difficulties in speaking proficiency in academic English because I'm not a native speaker. I'm an exotic person. First of all, I'm an exotic person and not a native speaker, so I had difficulties in speaking proficiency. For example, I'm from India and my mother language is Hindi, so I am good in Hindi and also in Punjabi, but I'm not good as much as Americans are good in English.
Okay.
Moreover, I'm not a native speaker, so I had difficulties. For example, when I went to the store yesterday, I was asking a lady about the pink store. She did not understand. Then finally I said pink. Then she understood that I was asking about a pink, not pink store. So it was a...
Good example. I like that. And that's also good that you're able to get some feedback on your pronunciation in a real-life situation.
In our pronunciation.
Okay, overall, I think your topic development was okay. I think you had your support points with your supporting detail. You seem to have pretty good control of your language use, which means your grammar and your vocabulary. Delivery, you do have a bit of a non-native speaker accent. You had some minor issues with word stress, for example, in the word academic. So you're still working on solving some of those issues. I think it would be tough to get a 4 on this one. I'll be honest with you. So I'm going to put you in the 3 area, 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this practice test. These comments are for Min Soo, and I am Michael, the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. So you answered independent speaking question number 298. So it's a good idea to kind of randomly pick different topics from my list and then take time to prepare your response to get feedback. All right, so here it is. It says you've been notified that all the students in your class have to take the final exam again because the test was compromised by a cheating student. You have only 1 day to study. What steps would you take to prepare for the exam?
I think this one is a very frustrating moment for me because I need to prepare again.
Instead of saying I think this, I would say I think that having to retake the exam again is a frustrating moment for me, so I wouldn't use a pronoun there. I would restate part of the question to show 2 things. Number 1, you're connecting what you're saying back to the purpose of the task. Number 2, by saying having to retake the test again, by saying that, using that gerund as an object, that's showing that you have pretty good control of your language use.
For my exam, I have to say I need to look at my summary notes again. Probably I already prepared the exam before, so I have my own summary notes. And it's a great way to browse through all the data that
Good vocabulary word, browse. I like that. That's a word that a lot of non-native speakers do not know.
I learned so that I can just remember those
I can just remember, I would say pronounce that remember.
data again to make sure that I don't forget about the important topics. Also, I probably look at topics that are not shown during the exam. Probably professor don't want to show.
Probably the professor doesn't want, I think is going to be better there. So you're having some pauses and hesitations in there.
I probably look at topics that are not shown during the exam. Probably professor don't want to.
The professor doesn't want.
Show the same questions to the student, so probably they will find the way to do the question over there.
Okay, so on this one, overall, I think you can create a more coherent organization, maybe by using transition words. That might help you to connect your ideas together a little bit better. So go to speaking lesson number 2 and speaking lesson number 7 to get some tips on two things are going to happen if you go to those lessons. Number 1, you'll learn how to create a more sharply focused topic statement, which I think can help you. Number 2, you'll learn about paragraph unity and about cohesion, both of which will help you to more coherently organize your ideas. Language use, you had a minor issue with subject-verb agreement. With your delivery, you're having some problems with what's called thought groups and blending, and you need to become a little more fluent by eliminating some of those unnecessary pauses and hesitations in there. So if you want to practice in that particular area, go to pronunciation lessons 41 through 44. Your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 4, 19 points out of 30 on this practice test. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Ben Chen, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons. So you're working a little bit right now, it looks like, on intonation. Okay, so let's take a look at your practice here. So this is my pronunciation lesson number 36. So the context of the first sentence is, did Kent call you last week?
Did Kent call you last week? It was Larry who called me.
That was pretty good. It was Larry who called me. So you're focusing on the word Larry because it's different from the word Kent. So far, so good. Let's keep going.
It took me an hour to ride my bike to school. Oh, so you do have a bike.
I like that. Not bad at all. So you're putting emphasis on do here, showing what's called emphatic expressions of surprise. Oh, so you do have a bike. So you could probably even raise your inflection and tone a little bit more there, but I think you're getting the point.
Did Jane run 50 miles last week? She ran 15 miles last week.
And I think that she ran 15 miles last week, so put a little bit more stress and rising pitch in the word 15.
How long were you at the party? How long were you at the party?
Good, you got it. So when you ask a question with a question, you must change some focus word within that. So how long were you at the party? So probably, let me listen to the last one here.
Frank is walking to school, right? Frank is driving to school.
I think you get the point here. You're doing what you need to do with this practice. My main advice is, remember, when you have the focus word in there, you want to make the focus word a little bit longer, a little bit louder, and even a little bit more, a little bit higher pitched. So, I think you're okay though. Good. That's very good practice for you on that one. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Meg de Almeida, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test, number 13. So let's go back to the beginning. Let me just make sure I remember what question this is. I have so many of them here. So, your friend is nervous because he will have a job interview. What would you tell him? And to help me help you, you have also been posting some of your practice tests for me, so I can also, not posting them, but you've been printing them out, typing them up a little bit, which I think is very helpful, right? And then I can give you a little bit better feedback with your pronunciation and all that. And guess what? As you practice writing them out, it also helps you with your writing, your grammar, your vocabulary, and then when you post it and practice it, you're speaking, of course, and it'll become more and more natural as you practice. Okay, here we go.
For a friend that's about to have a job interview, I would say, bring up the best two qualities a potential candidate must have: truth and self-confidence.
I like that. This is good. I like your introduction. You're starting to get the picture of how to more coherently organize your ideas. Now, instead of saying, I would say, bring up the best two qualities, well, you're using it as a quote maybe, as in you're talking directly to your friend, so I won't mess around with that. Let's keep going.
Firstly, we don't miss anything being honest, and actually, the interviews.
Instead of saying you, let me go back to make sure you said what you have written here. Hold on.
Truth and self-confidence.
Now your tone is good. Truth and self-confidence. I like how on the first item your tone is a little bit higher and then it drops when you get to the second idea. That's very good intonation.
Firstly, we don't miss anything.
And don't say you. Say firstly, I would tell my friend not to miss anything about being honest. So focus it as if you are talking directly to your friend. That is the better point of view that you want to use here.
Honest. And actually, the interviews love seeing people showing up. Clarity and truth through their words.
Okay, so I think that's pretty good.
Lastly, but not least, self-confidence can help you.
Now again, you need to connect what you're saying back to the speaking. Say last but not least. The last, you might say, I would also tell my friend to be self-confident when responding to the questions efficiently and clearly so that he can convince, not you. So you want to focus here on that third person singular point of view.
To respond to our questions efficiently and clearly so that you can convince the interviewers that you are the best fit for the job spot. Overall, be yourself and do not panic.
I wouldn't say overall be yourself and not panic. I would go back to what you just said. I would say overall these two qualities would definitely help my friend be more successful in the interview. So you want to restate and recap what you've already said. Okay, now the question is your score. So I think here you are making a concerted effort to improve your organization. Yes, you're getting the picture. You have a topic statement, you have two support points, you're using transition words to connect things together. All of these things are good. Language use, on this one you had some trouble with your language use, particularly with your point of view and how to explain these things as if you were talking to your friend. You could have used a subjunctive mood. You could have said, I would advise that my friend be confident or that my friend be truthful during the interview, even when asked questions that put him in a negative way. So you had some trouble with that. So go to Google. What is the subjunctive mood in English grammar? How do I use it? That's what you're trying to figure out. Now the other thing is, instead of using the you point of view, you should have used the third person singular point of view. That would have been a more appropriate point of view for this. And also, you're using the imperative sentence style. Do this, do that, bring this, bring that. It's probably better instead of the imperative sentence style. And you can go to Google again. What is the imperative sentence style in English grammar? It would have been better if you had used the declarative sentence style. So again, you can go to Google, what is the declarative sentence style in writing or speaking in English grammar? All right, delivery. You're making some improvements, I think. So you still have problems with some vowel and some consonant sounds and all that. But you're definitely making some efforts to get better in these areas. Your score here, I'm going to put you at about, I'm going to say 2.5 out of 4, 19 points out of 30 on this practice test. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Mano Rusalia, and I'm going to listen to your second pretest. So you're focusing on the second part of the pronunciation section of my online course. And I'm going to give you some feedback. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to the whole thing without stopping. Then I will recommend some specific lessons that I think can help you improve your intelligibility.
Competitively. Lesson 26. Act, active, actively, activity. Compete, competed, competitive, competitively. Humid, humidify, humidifier, dehumidifier. Budget, budgeted, budgetary. Marriage patterns in rural Turkey are noticeably influenced by endogamous preferences within both villages and kinship groups. Lesson 28. Pay, pays, part, parts, run, runs, cough, coughed, pass, passed, save, judged, sorted, shifted, planted, circumstances. Lesson 29. Conditioning, associate techniques, discussion, resurrected, consecutive, dysfunctional, retreat, positive, classical, religious. Lesson 30. Harmony, provide, air conditioner, glass cleaner, myself, themselves. 13, 30, 14, 40, 15, 50, 16, 60, 17, 70, 18, 80, 19, 90. Lesson 31. Downwind, outdoor, break into, take out. The conduct of the conductor was inappropriate. She objected to being an object of his affection. Disrespect, interlock, or pace. Lesson UPA, GPA, CEO, USA, GPA, CEO, academic, analytical, diversity, 45, cardiology, discussion, geography, cautious, Canadian, chronological, absentee, overseer, Vietnamese, picturesque, technique, corvette, educate, education, motivate, motivation, operate, operation. Lesson 33. Overrated, he ate it, position, he fixed it, assume, a broom, who'll bike, who'll biker, who'llest biker. Lesson 34. The player left the game in the fourth quarter. Mr. Jones is grading his papers today. Can you give me a burger with cheese? Lesson 35. She spoke with you. How's your homework coming along? Sue can go to the stores. She can't go to the store. She can run the whole distance. She can't run the whole distance. She was at his house yesterday. She wasn't at his house yesterday. Jane could talk to the other workers. Jane couldn't talk to the other workers. Lesson 36. Did John go to the game last week? John went to the game yesterday. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? The speaker wants to know speaker A's opinion. Lesson 37. What are you working on? I'm working on a composition. What kind of composition? It is a history composition. When is it due? It is due Friday morning. Lesson 38. There is an advantage and a disadvantage in your idea. Did she go on a vacation in the summer? It was the winter when she went on vacation. That was a great movie. I'll say it was good. Why didn't you return the book to the library? You're wrong. I did return the book to the library. Lesson 39. I like apples, banana, oranges, lemon, and grapes. She has 12 members in her family. She has 12 members? My phone number is 888-9002. Did you say 888-9002? I'm not certain of the lost number. Lesson 40. I want to leave Johnny. I want to leave Johnny. Speaker A, I'm going to United States. Where? Excuse me? Where are you going? I am going to United States. Where? What city in the United States will you go to? 20 3-foot-long sticks. 23 foot long sticks. 20 3 3-foot-long sticks. Where are you going? I am going to Los Angeles. I'm going to Los Angeles with my friends later on. Lesson 42. Bobby Thompson, who lives in my neighborhood, is coming to visit tomorrow. Very ordinary-looking vampire bats weigh only 1 ounce and have a body which is the size of an adult thumb. 43. Sir Francis Galton, a cousin of Charles Darwin, was interested in the measurement of intelligence because he wanted to increase it through selective breeding. Lesson 44. Can you hold up the painting for me? I wore a light sweater to the football game. Maybe you should ask Kenneth. He may know the answer.
Okay, thank you for completing the pre-test lesson number 26, and I just went over it, so I have a pretty good idea some things that you want to do here. So you got a pen and paper? Here are the lessons that you want to focus on right now. Lesson number 31, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and also 44. So I recommend you go through all of my pronunciation lessons. I tell all my students that, but you want to pay more attention to the lessons I just outlined in this discussion thread. These are the areas that you need to focus on more in terms of improving your pronunciation of American English. All right, anyway, thank you very much for completing this pre-test. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for KMP, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons. I'm getting ready to listen to your independent speaking practice test, and you asked me a question. You say, I need some tips on topic development. The problem I'm having is that I have lots of thoughts in my mind, but when I start to speak, I get stuck. I need help in this area. Thank you. Good idea. Good questions. Speaking lesson number 1, speaking lesson 2, and speaking lesson number 7. I recommend you go through those 3 lessons, and that will help you with exactly this issue. And then, of course, you're going to try to take some of those ideas and suggestions and then put them into your speaking. Okay, let's take a look. So you're doing speaking task number 4. So if you were to move to another city, which city would you choose?
If I had to move to another
When you say if I had to, you need to pronounce the T with more air and also make the vowel longer. Ooh. If I had to move.
city in my country, I would move to the city of Mumbai in India. This is because it is the economical capital of India, and there are lots of quality healthcare services I can be able to use. And secondly,
see, you're probably trying to do too many things. So what you need to do is, to give you a tip here, is once you see the question, I want you to try to jot down 2 support points. So you might say economics and education. How about those 2 things? So then when you start your response, you say, well, if I had to move to another city, I'll move to this city because of its economical and educational benefits. Then you say, first of all, I would move to this city because of the economic benefits. Then you give an example or 2. Then you say, second of all, I would also move to this city because of the educational benefits. And then you illustrate that with some examples. Then you're done.
the quality of life and the standard of life is very
The standard of living there is probably a better word.
high in that city, although it would be costly for me, but to improve my economical and financial status, it would be helpful for me to move to that city and
To move to that city. So when you get to the end of your ideas, you need to have a falling inflection in your tone, not rising. The exception to this, Kemp, is when you're making yes-no questions in English. So you need to work a little bit more on your intonation. You can go to my intonation lessons 36 through 40.
improve my quality of life.
Okay, I think overall on this one, if we look at the rubrics here, you definitely need to continue to make improvements with your delivery. You also, I think, can improve with your topic development by creating a more sharply focused topic statement that you can go to speaking lesson number 2 to learn more about. All right, your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.3 out of 4, 18 points out of 30 on this practice test. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Dieta79. And I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test number 44. So let's take a look at what this one is. What would your dream house look like? Use specific examples and details to support your explanation. This is a tough question, requires a lot of specificity, not easy to do with this kind of speaking.
I've been living in my dream house since 2014.
I like it. Present perfect progressive, to talk about something that began in the past and continues up into the moment of speaking. You're definitely getting started out on the right foot.
A modern small house which is located in the countryside, away from the urban area with its pollution and noise. My house has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms,
Okay.
and it's surrounded by a big garden at which I planted many flowers such as tulips and roses. My kitchen is very big, and it encourages me to cook delicious meals every day. And sometimes I invite my friends on weekends to have dinner with me.
Okay.
In my bedroom there is a big window, so every day in the morning I can enjoy seeing the sunrise and the beautiful colors of my flowers. This scenery helps me to relax and enjoy my hobby, which is reading. And that's how my dream house looks like.
I would say this is what my dream house looks like, or this is how my dream house looks. You can probably say it one of 2 ways. I think overall this is a good response. So you had very good topic development, you answered the question, you gave some specific details to support your ideas. You had pretty good control both your vocabulary and grammar. And delivery, you have a non-native speaker accent, but I think I could understand pretty much everything that you were saying there. So I think you have a pretty good response here. I think it's possible you could get close to 4 on this one. So I'm going to put you between 3.1 to 3.3, 24 to 26 points out of 30 on this practice test. Hi there, these comments are for Heartpreach 17. I am Michael, and I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test, number 56. So let's see how you're doing today. So you say, who is an important person in your country? Describe the person and explain why he or she is important. All right, this is kind of a hard question, so you have to describe the person first and then talk about why he or she is important.
Martin Luther King was an important person in my country. Martin Luther King was an American Baptist minister and activist who was a leader in the African American civil rights movements. He advocated civil rights, disobedience.
How about he advocated for civil rights and civil disobedience?
And nonviolence demonstrations as methods for achieving change.
Very good description, by the way.
He also founded Southern Christian Leadership Conference in 1957. He led march from Selma to Montgomery for voting rights, led bus
When
boycott.
you say the word voting, make sure you pronounce that V with more vibration. This is a fricative consonant, which means the tongue kind of goes against the, or the bottom lip goes against the upper teeth. Then you have voting.
In Montgomery, Alabama. Also won a Peace Prize, and he gave a speech, I Have a Dream, in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
So in the end, he assassinated in 1960.
He was assassinated so you definitely want to use passive voice there because he didn't take his own life. The problem here is when we go back to the question, I mean, you were brilliant when it comes to describing the person, right? No doubt at all, but then explain why he or she is important. I would be a little more explicit about that. So after you describe the person, just say Martin Luther King was important because, so you could probably do a little bit better job there. But overall, I think it was a pretty good speech, good response with your topic development. You had some problems with language use, for example, with passive voice, as I pointed out, and then you had some delivery issues. I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this practice test.